Hey my friends, welcome back to another video, and this one I'm really excited to share with you because I know how challenging it can be to stick to a healthy lifestyle during the holidays. I mean, there's sweets and treats everywhere and dishes made with tons of butters and oils. And not only that, you may find yourself surrounded by a family who doesn't eat exactly like you. Maybe your family isn't even vegan. Whatever the reasons may be, I want to go ahead and show you how I get through the holidays sticking to a whole foods plant-based diet that is oil-free and still super satisfying. So today we're going to be going over 5 helpful tips to help you stick to your plant-based diet and still enjoy the foods that you eat at the holidays. And then after we talk about those tips, I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite yummy, delicious treats that I like to have around the house or bring with me during the holidays. So you're going to want to stick around. You're not going to want to miss it. It's really good. You guys, it's the holidays. Have yourself a treat if you're not already having any, you know? Now, before we go over these 5 tips, I just want to stop for a second and say hello to those of you who may be new. My name is Tia, and here on this channel, I love to show you how you can live and thrive on a whole foods plant-based lifestyle really easily. It doesn't have to be that hard. I know it can feel overwhelming at times, but it's really not. You just have to find ways to make this work that fit into your lifestyle. And again, here on this channel, I love to show you how you can do exactly that. So if that sounds interesting to you, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you stick around. And okay, let's get to these 5 tips, shall we? All right, so tip number 1, I'm just gonna get right into the big one here. Bring or make your own food. I know this sounds pretty basic, but you'll be surprised how many people don't actually do this. When you bring or make your own food to have on the side, you are setting yourself up for success. How many times in your life have you been doing something in particular, it's something that you've wanted to implement, and when you weren't prepared for that, whether out in public or at someone else's house, when you weren't prepared for that, how many times have you faltered? Really, go ahead and think about that. Probably almost every time. If you're not setting yourself up for success, you're not gonna have a good chance of sticking to something. Now I know this could seem a little overwhelming. Maybe you have some people coming over for the holidays and they don't exactly eat the way that you do. So you feel like, oh my God, I have to make all this food for these people and now I have to make food for myself too. The deal is, it's not that stressful. Just keep your meal really simple and basic. Don't make a ton. Make a little side dish of mashed potatoes. Make a side dish of my delicious sweet potato crunch. I have an awesome recipe for a shepherd's pie. I'll go ahead and link below. Actually, I'll link below in the description box all the recipes I think are great for the holidays. But this doesn't have to be complicated. Take a few days before the holidays, go ahead, make your food, whatever you want to make, put it in the refrigerator, and that way, right before it's time for everyone to eat, you can warm yours really fast, sit down with everyone, and enjoy a healthy meal. Now, I know you might sometimes feel out of place doing this. Maybe you feel a little rude, especially if you're going to someone's house for the holidays. But the biggest tip I can give you in the way of this is to just communicate with people. Tell your family and friends if they don't know, hey, look, I'm gonna make myself something different. I hope you don't mind. I wanna sit and enjoy and have great conversation with y'all and enjoy these holidays. So I'm gonna go ahead and just have something different. Don't worry about me. Especially if you're going to someone's house for the holidays. I know I used to feel really apprehensive about bringing my own food. I didn't want it to seem rude, but I can tell you, the people who are hosting, they don't mind if you bring your own food. Just make sure you communicate to them. Like, communicating, it's pretty key. So make your own food, bring your own food. That is one of the biggest tips I can give you to sticking to a healthy, whole foods, plant-based diet through the holidays. All right, tip number 2, this is a fun one. Don't neglect or restrict yourself too much during this time. Now, I'm not saying to go eat a ton of oil or eat unhealthy, go ahead and just, go crazy. No, I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is don't be afraid, let's say, to have a little bit more avocado or a tiny bit of vegan cheese. My friends, there needs to be times throughout the year, especially the holidays, when you go ahead and just indulge a little bit. Again, I'm not saying throw in the towel. I'm not saying stuff your face with a big giant cake. I'm saying it's okay to bend a little bit, to have, an extra slice of something, or maybe a tiny bit more sugar than you usually eat. I think it's amazing to have structure when eating healthy. However, during the holidays, that structure might seem a little bit restrictive when you're sitting down at the table and you see everybody eating pie or crazy extravagant dishes. You don't want to start feeling sorry for yourself, okay? Our mind can play some really cruel games on us. In the moment you start feeling sorry for yourself or feeling like, I can't, this isn't fair. This isn't fair, I can't do this. The moment you start feeling those things, that's when you start to fall off the wagon. I can tell you from experience. So it's okay to bend just a tiny bit during the holidays. And again, I'm not talking about throwing in the towel or eating an entire cake. I'm just talking about allowing yourself to indulge just a little bit. That leads me to tip number 3, which is have some sweets prepared, my friends. Okay, so we were just talking about not feeling neglected, allowing yourself to have a little bit of something for the holidays. And the best way to have that something and it not be really bad for you is to make it yourself. I'm telling y'all, this is so good. And this is exactly what I'm going to be showing you how to make here in a bit. There are so many whole food, plant-based, oil-free dessert recipes out there. There are pies, there are brownies, there are breads. I mean, the list goes on, and I will link a couple for you, of course, in the description box. But there is no need to not have treats around. Now, I'm not saying you have to go out and bake all of these dishes. The last thing I want you to do is overwhelm yourself with tons of stuff to make. But having some treats is going to be great when everyone is sitting down having dessert, and honestly, last year, I'm going to tell you this, you don't necessarily have to make yourself a treat like this. Last year, I just took a couple pieces of toast and put some peanut butter on there. Yeah, I had peanut butter. Normally throughout the year, when I want to have quote unquote peanut butter, I'll have PB2, I'll put some water in there and mix it around and make like a paste. But on Christmas, because I celebrate Christmas, on Christmas, you better believe I'm going to put some real peanut butter on that toast. And that goes back to my tip number 2 with not, depriving yourself or not restricting yourself. But having sweets prepared is going to be a sure way to allow you to stick to a whole foods plant-based diet through the holidays because other people are going to have sweets around and you don't want to be picking at their unhealthy stuff, right? Have yourself some treats. All right, tip number 4 is to have snacks around the house. I'm not talking about sweets. I'm talking about snacks that are going to fill and satisfy you. Now, I don't know about your family, but my family loves to pick. Not pick at me, but to pick at food. And if there's one thing that gets me thinking about eating, it's watching other people snack on stuff. I can't recommend enough to make sure you have healthy, filling, nutritious snacks sitting around your house or, again, bringing that with you if you're traveling for the holidays to someone else's house. Things like carrots and hummus. I love to snack on pickles because they're not a ton of calories, and something about that vinegar flavor kind of squashes any need to really eat for me. Fruit is great. Actually, those little bitty, if you've been following me for a while and you've seen some of my videos, I love to eat the little yellow potatoes, or even like the little bitty small mini ones. Those are great to have already cooked. You can pop those in the microwave. Those are great because they're satisfying and they're low in calories. Veggie trays are great. You know, these are things that you can easily snack on. They're low in calories. They're going to satisfy you, provide you with a decent amount of fiber to kind of fill you, and again, just get rid of any feeling of wanting to continue to eat when it's not mealtime. Also, a great reason to be prepared with snacks is, let's say you are going out of town for the holidays and you're doing like a road trip, like me and my family do so many times. So when I can easily grab an apple or snack on some grapes, I love to bring those little containers of oatmeal. You can stop at a fast food joint, get some hot water, put it in there, and then you have a nice filling cup of oatmeal with you. Having snacks, in my opinion, on hand is always key throughout the year, especially during the holiday season when you're around family who likes to pick at food all day long. All right, and my last tip number 5, is to stay strong. You made the decision to eat this way for a reason. You did it. No one else made you do this. At least, I don't think so. Just because it's the holidays doesn't mean you're not supposed to treat your body right. No, you are. You want to be a healthier version of yourself, so do that all the time. Yes, it's okay, like I said, to indulge here and there, still with healthy things. You made a commitment to yourself, at least I know I did. This is my life forever. This is no fad diet. There's no jumping off of this when it's Christmas time and then getting back on at the new year. No, I chose to get my body healthy and to stay this way forever. And that's exactly what I hope you do. So stay strong. Remind yourself of this when you feel tempted and you're having a hard time, keeping your mind focused on the prize here. Now, the other side to this is you may have a family that's not very supportive. They may pick at you and make fun at you because you choose to eat a vegan, whole foods, plant-based lifestyle. Let them laugh in a nice, graceful way. Just say, I know, I eat differently, I know, but I feel really good. I feel great and I'm happy, and that's all I care about for myself. And that's it. Just move on. Don't let it get to you. It is what it is. This is your life. Stay strong. Okay, now, would you like to move on to finding out how to make this delicious, you're probably wondering what this is, chocolate chip banana bread with a bit of powdered sugar on top? Y'all, I've had many banana breads, but this one is by far my favorite. So, without further ado, let's go ahead to, this recipe. So I'm using 2 bowls for this. In the first bowl, I'm mixing dry ingredients. We're gonna do 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour, 1/2 a cup of brown sugar, a little pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and then 1/2 teaspoon of baking salt. And then I'm just gonna mix it together really well. And then after we mix that, we're gonna take a separate bowl with our wet ingredients. Now, for this, we're using 2 to 3 ripe bananas, and you wanna smush them really well. But if you have frozen bananas, I love to use frozen bananas for this recipe. I just defrost them really quick in the microwave. And then it makes just this kind of mushy, soupy consistency because of the water from the ice that's melted in the freezer from the bananas being frozen. It just makes kind of like this banana juice. But I'm adding 1/3 of a cup of vanilla almond milk to this and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna combine the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients, and we're gonna make sure we mix that really well. Now, I will be adding some chopped walnuts, or actually I think I put pecans in here, and then a bit of vegan chocolate chips. But I like to add that stuff after I've combined the wet and dry ingredients really well. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so now I'm just adding 1/4 of a cup of chopped pecans and just a handful of vegan chocolate chips. I probably added about 1 to 2 tablespoons of vegan chocolate chips. But I want to say, if you don't want to add nuts to this, you can add, you know, 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flax seeds if you'd like, or you don't have to add any fat if you don't want any additional fat. I just like to add a little bit of healthy fat to this for not only myself but for my family. And you know, it's the holidays. It's gonna be okay. As you can see, I'm adding more vegan chocolate chips. I don't plan on eating the whole loaf, so you know, that's gonna be good. So we're gonna mix that up really well, and then we're gonna pop this into a loaf pan. I went ahead and just layered this with parchment paper so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. That way, you know, I'm not using oil, so parchment paper is perfect. So I'm just gonna pour this in there. I'm gonna put it in the oven and I'm gonna set the timer for about 40 minutes. And when it comes out, oh, I love to sprinkle powdered sugar on here because let's be honest, that's the closest thing we're gonna get here in Texas to snow. All right, so that is it for me today here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so I know to do more similar to this. Obviously, Christmas is over after this week. With that said, next Monday, I'm not gonna be posting a video, but I will be seeing you the following Monday in 2021. Can't wait. Can't wait for a new year, right? All right, I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy holidays, whatever it is you celebrate. I wish you all the best, and I will be seeing y'all very soon. Bye.